So much, Benjamin. Okay, we're finally recording. Thank you so much, Benjamin. Thank you so much, everyone for having me. I've actually been I've actually been preparing for this class for the longest of time, and to think I nearly missed it. It's crazy. So I want to thank the organizers. I want to thank Taiwo. Taiwo has been the one keeping me on my toes, sending me emails. Thank you so much for doing that because sometimes life can get crazy. So let's dive right in. Benjamin, please tell me when you start to see my screen.
Okay, ma.
So you can see my screen, yes?
Yes, ma, I can see it, ma.
Okay, okay. Beautiful. So today I've been notified that we are talking about how to build your brand, right? How to build your personal brand. And I feel like just building your brand is not enough. Your brand should be result driven, okay? So I decided to craft this topic exclusively for this class. And the topic is how to build or building a result driven presence on LinkedIn. So, firstly, I would like to ask how many of us here are on LinkedIn? Let me go back to see that. How many of us are on LinkedIn? Emojis, if you're going to type. Like I said, I love an interactive class, so please don't leave me hanging. How many of us are on LinkedIn? Can I see responses, please? Okay, Queen is on LinkedIn. Beautiful. Who else? Olebube Chukwu is on LinkedIn. Juliet is on LinkedIn. Bidemi is on LinkedIn. So I believe the people that need this class are here. Okay, beautiful. Emmanuel, Peace, Godwin, beautiful, beautiful. Onyedikachi and Jali. Is that the way you pronounce your name? Forgive me. So beautiful, beautiful. I just want to make sure this value is not lost. Okay, so we are going to talk about how to build a results-driven presence on LinkedIn. And this is coming from someone who has done exactly that and has helped a lot more brands do that as well. So I am a brand strategist. I am into corporate communications and content marketing, and I am a very enthusiastic writer. I've always loved writing. I work as a ghostwriter for founders and I coach solopreneurs. And executives as well. So if you want to on LinkedIn, you've been lied to about LinkedIn. You've been made to see LinkedIn as somewhere where it's just a game of mere numbers. And that's the first thing I want us to talk about today, the big lie about LinkedIn. We're going to be looking at what the problem is. What are those things that are making you not build a sustainable brand, a results-driven personal brand? We're going to look at the problem. We're going to look at what personal branding really is. We're going to find out that personal branding is not self-promotion, as a lot of people think. Personal branding or branding in general is just perception management. When you understand those two words, perception management, the journey to building a result-driven brand becomes much more easier for you. Sorry, someone's mic is not muted. It's distracting me. Please help me notify them, Benjamin. So we're also going to be looking at how to gain clarity before visibility. We're going to be looking at how to the pillars of a results-driven personal brand. We're going to be looking at how to build authenticity, authority, and trust. Okay. So wherever you see um, me, I will always talk about authority, attention, and trust. It's literally all over my how do I get this off? Okay. I want to show you my LinkedIn because I like to practice what I preach. So these three factors, I do not joke with them My banner literally says building iconic brands that command what? Authority, attention, and trust. Okay. Those three things, you need them. You need them. In fact, if there's a way I can add authenticity, I would, because that's another pillar I do not joke with. So we are going to talk about LinkedIn. Yeah. We are going to talk about LinkedIn, and I want us to start with a question. So, how many of you here have skills, have hard-earned skills, have experience, but you still feel invisible? How many of us have that problem? I need to know. So, if you have that problem, a show of hands, or you can just type me, okay? Show of hands, emojis, or you can just type me. Because if nobody here is having that problem, that means we shouldn't be having this class. I can go back and change the topic. But how many of us here have skills, but we are still feeling invisible? Okay, Ajibola says me, beautiful. Taiwo says me, beautiful. So the people that need this class are here. Doris says me. Now, these are, thank you so much, everyone. Amazing. I love an interactive class. So these are the issues, right? These are the issues, and these are some of the things we want to look at. Another question I would like to ask is how many of you look at people online, whether it's on LinkedIn or elsewhere? Trust me, everything I will teach you here, you can use it on other platforms as well. I'm just using LinkedIn because I feel like that's a professional platform that basically a lot of people are now on. And it's somewhere that I've built an empire for myself and I'm still building it. So that's why I love to use LinkedIn as a case study. So another question I would love to ask is how many of us look at people online who are half as talented as we are, half as knowledgeable as we are, but they seem to be getting all the deals, all the opportunities, all the mentions, all the brand deals, all the seats at the table. How many of us have experienced that before? I want to believe a lot of us, right? And it's frustrating. It's frustrating, especially if you're someone that has been in your industry or that has pursued your career for quite a while. It can be frustrating. I've heard people say things like, "Oh, these Gen Z, they don't need to work for anything, but they're just making money. They're spoiling them." By the way, I'm a Gen Z, so please take it easy on us. Now, it's annoying because we have learned how to play the game, right? And it's still the same game. I'm here to tell you that it's not just dependent on the numbers, okay? It's not just dependent on the number of followers you have. Now, that is a factor, but it's not the main thing. Okay. So, we are here to talk about that frustration. We are here to talk about how we can help you get from where you currently are to where you aspire to be, or move your brand from where it currently is to where you want it to be. That's what we are here to talk about. So, I mentioned that yeah, like I said here, some this is frustrating. Some of you are posting, some of you should be visible, or you're visible but not to the extent that you want. Some of you are consistent, but nothing is changing. We're here to solve that problem. Okay. Nobody is chatting you up to say, oh, how do we work together? Nobody is saying, oh, I saw your content or I saw your profile and I just feel like you're the perfect person for our company. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's buying your offers for those that have offers, because I've come to find out a lot of people don't even have basic offers, right? So we are here to fix that pain. We're here to fix that pain. And like I've said, followers are not the most important thing you should focus on. Followers literally don't pay bills, right? And I know a lot of people say, hey, if you have more followers, if you have more I'm not denying that followers or the number of followers you have could be a factor. But I'm telling you that if you don't pursue the most important things, even with your large number of followers, you're still going to crumble at the end of the day. So instead of just focusing on followership, why not focus on building attention, the right kind of attention? Make sure the right people are actually seeing you. I can tell you for free that I've had people that had or that have 100,000 followers or more than reach out to me to say, Cynthia, you have just, even when I say I had 5K followers, 8K followers, they'll be like, Cynthia, how are you doing this now? And you have just this number of followers. How do I want the same thing for my brand, for my profile, for my page? Now these people have 100,000 followers, but nothing, nobody is checking them out. They're not converting anything. So take it from me because I've been there. I help them get their brand from that 100,000 followers to where they are actually what iconic, where they are doing the right things, where they have the attention of the right people. It's not about the number of followers you have. Are they the right people for you, for your brand, for your offer? Don't just rake in followers. Don't just rake in followers. I will give you an example. So one of my friends reached out to me. One of my LinkedIn friends reached out to me 2 weeks ago. The person was like, Cynthia, all these things that Rich used to drop on LinkedIn, my post went viral. Cynthia, my post went viral. I was like, oh, beautiful, good for you. Viral posts don't shake me, right? So I was like, oh, beautiful, good for you. Because when you understand how the system works, those things won't shake you as well. So like, I'm happy for you. So he was like, oh, it's been so long that my post went viral. My numbers have been crashing. Everybody's numbers have been crashing. I'm not even going to lie. Most of the people that basically still look like, oh, they're doing so great. Now they are real. Some of them are real, but there are a good number of them that are just using bots. Okay. So don't just focus on the numbers you see and you're beating yourself up about it. Some of those people are not those profiles commenting on their profiles are just bots. Okay. So don't beat yourself up about it. So the person was like, "Oh, my post went viral, this, that, and all of that." And I was happy for him. I was like, okay, good. 3 days after, the person even had the decency, the wisdom to go and check the kind of people that were following him from that viral post. And the person came to me and was complaining. Literally 3 days after his post went viral. I was like, Cynthia, this thing you used to say about numbers is true. I was like, what's going on? He said, I was just going through my follower, my audience base. I was just looking through the people that followed me within the last 3 days. A lot of them followed me. I said, is that not good news? He said, no. Said, I even found a mechanic following me. Now, he doesn't have anything against mechanic, neither do I. But what he was trying to say is that the people that ended up following him from that viral post, hundreds and hundreds, almost 500 followers that he got from just that one post, he said he did not like the quality of followership he started to get. I know why I'm dwelling on this even before I jump right into the heart of this class. Because a lot of people, that's what they focus on. Oh, my followers, oh, my likes, oh, my impressions. Those things are not the end of the world. When you pursue the right things, you get the right results. And that's the philosophy I live by. In fact, that's what I named my branding agency after. I named it the Reapers brand because I live by the principle of reaping what you sow. So if you sow the right seeds, you're going to reap the right results. Don't get fixated on this big lie about followership, especially on LinkedIn these days. I've seen a lot of it. Okay. So don't focus on who, focus on, how the quality instead of the quantity, basically. So it's not about having 20,000 followers, 50,000 followers, 100,000. What's the quality? Are these people really your community or they are just followers? There's a difference. Are you building a community or you're just building followership? You're doing anything anyhow just to get numbers. That's not how you build a sustainable brand. That's not how you build what I love to call an iconic brand. Okay. So instead of pursuing those things, why not go after trust? Trust is the thing that will make some of those your followers pick up their phone and refer you. I was telling my mentee, I just had a call after this that the last job I got, someone just picked up their phone and called me and was like, Cynthia, this referred you. I worked with one of the Ghanaian ambassadors to the UK like last year. So he was the one that referred me for this new gig. There's an AI company that wants to launch and they were looking for someone to handle their branding. That was how I got the job. I did not do nothing, right? So that's the kind of brand I want for everyone. But it's sad that that's not the kind of brand people are building towards. They're just raking in followers. Now there's someone that has 100K followership somewhere that wouldn't get that kind of brand deal. Okay. So, but when you focus on quality instead of quantity, then the kind of offers you actually get will also be offers that are what? Of quality, of higher quality. So don't settle for less. Chasing followership is you settling for less. You can do more, you can achieve more. There's nobody out there that they are paying 100 million just because they have 100,000 followers, unless it's brand influencing. And even if you haven't built a sustainable brand, even that one will still crash. I've seen a lot of these people that would have that would get brand deals. But then when they now post the things that the brands are supposed to get money for, because some of them what they actually use are bots. Nobody is buying the offer. So the people that are reaching out to them will be like, but you have 70K followers. Why is nobody buying the offer that you've posted? Do you understand me? I don't have anything against big numbers. Myself, I want to reach 100K followers. Don't get me wrong. But set your priorities straight. It's very important that you have the right mindset. Or you're going to follow the crowd. And we don't follow the crowd here. I want to believe you are now on my team. Anybody that I've ever taught is on my team. We go for what? Top 1%. That's what my headline literally says. Moving you from invisible to what? Top 1%. That's the goal. That's the goal. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you, Emmanuel. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Okay, I think I've talked about this. My classes are not based on the slides, they're based on what I say. So please listen to me because the slides will so finish and I've not even started the class. Okay. So the problem, like I said, is that people are looking for applause. They're looking to go viral. They're looking for numbers instead of building the right things. I mentioned attention, the right kind, the quality attention. I mentioned authority and I mentioned trust. Those three things, don't joke with it if you want to build a brand that would speak for you wherever you are. Literally, as you're sleeping, you're getting deals. You're getting deals. You're getting deals. So that's what we are going to be looking at. So let's talk about what personal branding really is, right? Let's talk about what personal branding really is. I said that personal branding or branding in general, whether it's corporate or personal branding, is not just self-promotion or brand promotion. That's what a lot of people do. Oh, personal branding, the first thing they will think about is, oh, I need to go and beautify my profile. That's good. In fact, that's a pillar under branding. We will be talking about the three pillars of branding. That's a pillar, good and fine, but it's not everything. That's where a lot of people stop. Oh, I will optimize my profile. They will just use splash colors everywhere, shine everywhere, but nothing. It's bringing them nothing. There's no conversion. So that's not what personal branding is. It's not brand promotion. It's not self promotion. It's perception management. Branding is controlling the perception that people have of you and your brand. Simple and short. That's what branding is. And you are controlling that perception by the way you look, the content you put out, what your website looks like, how you sound, the value you deliver. Now, all these are the things you should put into consideration. It's not just how good your profile looks. Okay? Oh, my profile is popping. Have you seen my profile? Good and fine. You've decorated the outside of the house, but the inside is empty. Don't build an empty shell. Okay? Build a solid brand, build an iconic brand that will do the work for you. Oh, sorry, excuse me. A brand that will speak even before you do. A brand that will represent you well through your profile, your content, your messaging, your classes, everywhere. Let your brand speak for you and let it say good things. And a good brand it does not necessarily need hyping. People will do the hyping for you. People will do the referring for you. You wouldn't need to go and chase them. I build brands that attract, right? If your brand is always the one chasing, you're chasing likes, you're chasing clients, you're the one reminding a client 7 times to have a call with you. That's not the kind of brand I want for you. I want you to have a soft life. I want you to have a soft brand that will get you soft deals without you having to kill yourself. Okay? And it all boils down to building the right foundation. If you build the right foundation, the one that is built on the right kind of attention, authority, and trust, there's nothing else that you need. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. I've just given you what the formula looks like. Okay. So personal branding is not self-promotion, it's not brand promotion, it's perception management. You're controlling what people say about you, what they know about you, how they see you. You're letting them know that, sorry, you're letting them know that, oh, this is the kind of person I am. This is the kind of value, the quality of value I bring. This is what I can do for you. This is the kind of transformation I can bring to you. This is the kind of value you're going to get if we work together. And you don't necessarily, they don't need to hire you to see that. I had a class sometime this week, and then I was asking the audience to, oh yeah, tell me what differentiates you from others. And then I found out that most of them were saying things that will happen after they've been hired. What if the person does not hire you? How do you convince me that you are of value now, not when I've hired you? Abi, you don't get value until I hire you, right? So you need to know these things. They're really important. Have the right mindset. Okay. So yes, your personal branding is not just about your logo. It's not about, the perfect headline. It's not about posting every day, right? It's not you acting like an influencer. Okay. It's the quality of value you bring. It's the consistency of your messaging, not just your posts. Is the reputation you keep building for your brand. Now that's perception management. So when someone says, "Oh, Cynthia, this," they already have a perception of me. That perception is my branding. It's that simple. Whether it's through my profile, whether they meet me physically or not. Now, I'll tell you for free, I've never met any of my clients. Apart from the last organization I'm working for, which is a hybrid role where they actually get to see me some days of the week. I have never met any of my clients. Why? Because they're from across the world, Europe, Maldives, US, they're from everywhere. But they will all tell you similar things about me because of what? Perception management, aka branding. Okay. So when you understand branding, building a results-driven brand would not be a problem. That's why I'm taking my time to break these things down and repeat it. And I'm hoping you'll catch it. Okay. So none of these things that we call branding are actually branding. Branding is simply perception management. Once you understand how to manage the perception that people have of you, your offer, your services, your messaging, your values, you've won. You've won this branding game. I know everybody out there is doing personal branding this, branding that, but 99% don't even understand what it actually entails. But we are here to break that barrier, okay? We are here to break that barrier. So whether or not you've been intentional about it, I'm hoping that now you will be, because your branding is like the bedrock. That's the bedrock of any brand. Intentional branding. That's the bedrock. That's what will separate this Cynthia from the next Cynthia. That's what will separate this Benjamin from the next Benjamin, this Choma from the next Choma. It's your branding. Because no two people are the same. Add your own spice. Okay. I made a post, was that last week, where sorry, someone's mic is on. Please help me put it off. I made a post last week where I said that a friend of mine asked me, "Oh, Cynthia, who do you consider your competition in, the branding industry?" Hmm. Sorry, I've been having calls back to back. It's beginning to catch up with my throat. So the person asked me, "Who do you consider your competitors?" Right? And I told the person, "I'm sorry, but I don't think I have any competitors." Now, that might sound rude, right? It might sound prideful, but this is just the mindset I have. I'm different already. Because when you understand that you are your brand, especially when it comes to personal branding now, not corporate branding, then you understand you don't have any competition. Okay? I'm different already. Even if you find someone that has the exact name that I do, all of them, they are not me, is that they are not me. That's the first thing. So there is no competition. You're just learning from others, and you're growing the things you do, and you're becoming better. That's all there is. There is no competition. Branding has made it so that there is no competition. You're just getting better. As long as you're getting better, you're better than you were yesterday. There's no competition. You're moving forward. That's someone that understands branding. So let's continue. We're going to talk about the real foundation that you should lay in your quest or in your journey to build a result-driven personal brand. Okay, we're going to look at that. This will help you find your niche. I just finished, a class, like I said, with my mentees, and this was one of the things we talked about because we are just starting that cohort. We talked about brand identity. These are the questions that will help you form your brand identity. So let's dive right into it. The first question is this. I'm sorry I didn't type it out. Like I said, sometimes when I prepare my slides, I end up saying things that are not there. Forgive me. So just make sure you're paying attention and you're writing. So the first question is, what am I actually good at? Skill wise. What are those things I'm good at? What are those things people commend you for? What are those things that you're better at? Above average most times. What are those things? Just write them down. Can be writing. For me, it is writing. Writing is one of them. I'm a very good teacher. Building relationships. Write as many as you can. Okay. Write them down. It's an actual exercise I expect you to do as someone that attended this class. The first question is, what am I good at? What are those skills that I have that I am actually good at? Now, we found out, or I have found out as a coach, that sometimes those things have nothing to do with what you studied in school, aka me. Now, when I tell people, maybe they hire me as a brand strategist, a brand manager, a corporate communication specialist, and then they just kind of decide for themselves that, oh, she must have a marketing background or she must have, whatever kind of background. But whenever they hear that I started from a medical college, they're like, what? What are you talking about? So I've come to find out that some people, the answer to this question, which is what am I good at, might have absolutely nothing to do with what you studied at school. I'm sorry. Okay? You have to accept it. It will have nothing for some, for others it does, but I'm trying to talk about those in my clique. Okay? It might have nothing to do with what you studied in school. It might have nothing to do with some of the certificates you already own. And that's good. That's fine. In fact, it makes it more magical because how can you be so good at it even when you've not studied it? Do you understand? Are you getting where I'm going to? So the first question is, what am I good at? The second question is this: what services and solutions can I offer to people with these skills? Write them down. The Bible says, write it and make it plain, right? Write them down. Have somewhere a document, a physical book, whatever, where you answer these questions and you go to them. Okay? They will give you clarity always. They will let you know, am I going out of track? Am I going off track? Am I still doing what I want to do, what I made up my mind to do? What's the am I still on the right track? First question, what am I good at? Second question, what are the services and solutions that I can bring or offer people with these services? Okay, you're going to answer that for yourself. So, for example, let's say when I was writing down mine, I wrote writing. Okay, so I wrote writing as the answer to the first question. Like I said, you can write down as many skills as you want, and or you can just keep it short, maybe two to three, the top three. Let's just say the top three skills you're good at. And then you're going to list out the solutions and the services that you can offer to people under it. Now, there's a difference between services and solutions, right? I did not say services or solutions. I said, what are the services and solutions, right? The services, using writing example, that's using myself as an example. The services I can offer as a writer, there are different kinds of writing. I can do ghostwriting, I can do strategy writing, I can do book writing, I can do content writing, I can do email writing, there are various services I can render under that skill. Now, what are the solutions I bring to people with that writing skills? Now, these things I'm teaching might look basic, but these are the things that has helped me help others build the kind of brands that they are proud of today. You need to know these things. Clarity comes first. Like I said, these are the questions that will help you form an identity for your brand. But some people don't even know these things about themselves. Let me not even get into values. I can't tell you how many times I've asked someone, "Oh, what are the values, guiding your brand or guiding you as a person?" They don't have any. So how are you looking to build a solid brand if you don't even have clarity? But let's move forward. So services, solutions. I've given the services. I've mentioned different kinds of writing and services, right? So what are the solutions I bring to people as a writer? Now, solutions are deeper. Solutions, this is where you start to talk about the transformation you bring, the outcomes, not just mere services. Okay. So as a writer, I would like to believe that I help save my clients time because if I'm writing for you, you don't need to write the same thing, right? So I'm talking about solutions now or outcomes. I help them save time. I help them build credibility. I help them sell. Now, these are solutions or outcomes. These are not just services. So you see, I said, what are the services and solutions I bring to people with these skills of mine? That's the second question. So I'm listing some solutions I can bring to you as a writer. I will help you save time, build credibility, sell, build authority, build trust, help you create a community, and all of these things, and on and on and on. As many as you can, please do write them down. Okay. Now, the third question you should ask yourself is what makes me different? Another way to phrase it is why should these people trust me? What's your differentiator? What makes you different from the next person? I mentioned that you have no competition, but not when you don't even know what makes you different. What makes you different? There are millions of writers out there. What makes Cynthia different? There are millions of virtual assistants out there, graphic designers, video editors. What makes you different, sir? What makes you different? Why should we choose you over the next person? They ask these questions even at interviews. That's how important it is. And you need to know it. So if you're going to sell yourself, you need to know yourself. How will you sell yourself to me or your brand to me if you don't even understand it yourself? Okay? So these are the things you should be pursuing, not numbers, not virality, not applause. All those things will come, trust me. They will come in due time, but you need this clarity first. You need this solid foundation first. Your brand needs to have an identity. Your brand needs to have an identity, and that's what these three vital questions will help you form. The beginning of your brand identity. What can we identify your brand with? What makes you different? What are those skills that you have? So you have to answer these questions. Don't just jump right into profile optimization when you don't even know the answers to these questions. These are the reasons why some people I've I've worked with people that have been on LinkedIn since 2015, 2013, 2012. And I'm here wondering, where was I in 2012? Where was I in 2012? That's so far away. That's a long time ago. And I'm the one teaching them now. How? It's because they don't understand the simple principles. They don't understand it and they pay me big for it. So you're very lucky you're getting this for free. Don't undermine it though. So you need to know the answers to these questions. That should be the beginning of your journey. You need to have a real foundation. You need to have an identity. You need to have an identity. Clarity needs to come first. I know that's a word that a lot of people have misused, but it's still a valid word, okay? Clarity needs to come first. Before you go and optimize, you need to know these things. You need to know your differentiator. What are you leading with? There are 8 billion plus people on the planet. What makes you different? There are 2 million virtual assistants in Lagos. What makes you different? Once you know these things, you automatically, you know you are not in the same league with these people. It's not pride, it's clarity. Okay. So, and the next thing that I would give you as, what would I call it? I don't want to call it a tip because it's more than that. As an ingredient to building a result-driven brand is nothing else but authenticity. Now you've gained clarity. Please be authentic. In fact, authenticity is one of the things I count as one of my unique differentiators. I'm telling you, authenticity is something you should not joke with. Authenticity is the real weapon with which you can earn trust. If someone does not want to trust you, just using the sword of authenticity will pierce their hearts before they know what's going on. They already trust you. So you see, this game is not just a game of numbers. It's a game of knowing the right things to do. Once you understand what the framework actually is, you will zone out on all the noise. It will fade away. It will definitely fade away. Mm. So authenticity is another thing you shouldn't joke with. When you've gotten clarity, you've identified yourself, you know who you are, you know who you're here for, right? You know what differentiates you. Please embrace authenticity. If you're beginning, start there. Everybody had a beginning before they could have a middle and an end. Be authentic. Don't claim to be what you're not. I see a lot of people on LinkedIn. You just created a profile 3 months ago, but now you want to start advising the president. How is that authentic? What do you know? I know it's scary for you to start from scratch, but that was exactly where I started from. And definitely that's where a lot more people that are bigger than me, I'm sure they had a beginning as well. So if you're just starting out, embrace it. It's part of the journey. I literally think back to those days, and I'm just smiling a very silly smile because I'm remembering all the mistakes I made. I was like, if I had known what I know now. But you have to have a beginning to have a middle and an end. The beginning is the most important part. So I don't see why you shouldn't embrace. I hope I don't lose my voice tonight. I don't see why you shouldn't embrace authenticity. Okay? Be authentic. It's one of your most integral differentiators. Like I said, there's only one me. So if I'm not me, who am I leaving me for? Do you understand me? Let's that your authentic self follow you into everything you do. And if you know your authentic self is nothing to write home about, better start fixing it. I was telling my mentees one time because I say you should be authentic does not mean if you have bad behavior, you can't be portraying bad behavior for your client too. Let's say you're an acute late comer. You not be like, oh, that's me. You are who? You are who? They will sack you, sir. But embracing your authenticity or your authentic self is what will even show you the places that you need to fix. Because your common sense will tell you that, oh, this needs to go. Branding is one of the things that has helped me really shape myself, personal development wise. I'm telling you, because I looked at where I want to be and I looked at where I am. I drew a map. I was like, I need to let go of some things. I need to let go. Even my parents were testifying. They were like, Cynthia, what's going on? If you do branding right, it won't just affect your business. It will start with you. The transformation, I like to call it the 5X transformation. It will start with you. Your brand cannot change lives if it hasn't changed yours. Are you listening to me? Is someone catching that? Your brand can't change others if it hasn't changed you. Okay? Beautiful. So let's move on. Okay, I said here that authenticity, the real kind of authenticity, not the fake one that people are claiming these days. I feel like, oh my God, a lot of things are going wrong online, but God will help us. So the real kind of authenticity is made up of three things. Thank God we've talked about clarity. The second thing is consistency. And the third thing is credibility, the three C's. You have to first have clarity as to who you are, to even know what the authentic self you're trying to portray looks like. Now you have to be consistent in portraying it. You're not this person today and another person tomorrow. Okay? Own it, live it out consistently. And that's those two things will help you naturally build credibility, aka trust. They'll help you build credibility. Once you set the foundation of clarity and consistency, credibility is sure the next thing to reap. Like I said, sow the right seeds, reap the right results. Okay. Now I want to go into this core part of the class, which is the three pillars of what I call an iconic brand. An iconic brand. So in general, this is the iconic brand formula. And I know a lot of people, you know branding as different things. I've read lots of book on branding and everybody has their own um thing to say. But I've come to find out that branding, the iconic kind though, is built on three pillars. Once you miss any of these three pillars, they need each other. Once you miss anyone, you've lost it. What you're building is no longer an iconic brand. An iconic brand, like I said, is a brand that is built on the right kind of attention, authority, and trust. So let's look at how you can build such a brand using these three pillars. But I want to confirm you guys are still with me because sometimes when I teach, I get ahead of myself. Both my parents are teachers, so that shouldn't surprise you. I love to teach. So are we still here? You can't hear our oh my. Oh
We can hear
no.
you. Use our network. We're
I
still
hear
here.
you very well.
Oh, okay. Okay, beautiful. I'm so sorry, Mary. Maybe you can leave the call and join us back. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. And I can see the numbers have grown. Beautiful. It's so nice to meet each and every one of you. I don't know why you guys came late, but it's fine. So let's continue. So I said I have three pillars, and this is the formula I use for all my clients as well. So like I said, you're getting this for free. You should go and thank the people that put up this program. So visual branding, authority branding, relationship branding, the three pillars of an iconic brand. I said if you miss one, your results will what? They will suffer. They will suffer. They will suffer. Now, the first we're going to look at is the visual branding. Now, this is where a lot of people start and stop their branding journey, and that's why they fail. Okay, that's why they fail woefully because their brand looks perfect, but it's empty. Now, visual branding is a pillar. What that tells you is that it's important, right? The way you look, the way you present your brand, it's very, very important. So I will try and do an exercise on LinkedIn. Let me go to LinkedIn. Oh no. I hate it when this thing comes up. Does anybody know how to clear it out? I really hate when it comes up. But okay, it's fine. It's going. So I'm going to do an exercise where I would compare my profile. Oh no, it's back again. Where I will compare my profile to, let's say, three or four other brand strategists on LinkedIn. So you can see the importance of what the visual pillar. So I'm just going to search for brand strategist. And trust me, this was how one of my clients, the one I mentioned was from the Maldives. This was how she found me. She said she came to LinkedIn and typed brand strategists, right? And she literally went down the sorry thing. She literally went down the list like I'm going to do now. And she said my own stood out. So these things are not they are, I'm not just here to make you feel good or just say things you want to hear. These things actually work. So I'm going to go to brand strategies here. I'm going to go to people. Okay, so we have a list here, right? So I already have my profile here as a reference. Let's look at what other people have. Let's look at the importance of the visual pillar. I like to have an interactive class and a practical section or session, sorry. So I'm going to choose the first three. Like these are the first three people that LinkedIn showed me when I searched for brand strategists. Now let's compare what our profiles look like. Okay, let's compare. I hate it when this thing comes out. Is there no way to cut it out?
What's that, ma? Sorry, ma.
Uh,
What's that, ma?
this stuff. I hate when it blocks out my queue, so I don't know.
Sorry
I'm
about that.
almost tempted to click on stop share just so I don't have to say it, but let's continue. It's fine. So we are looking at what? We're looking at visual branding. We're trying to see or to show that okay, the way you look it actually matters. So let's assume when that client of mine, we're still working together, searched, my profile was like number 4. Let's take it to number 4. Oh no. Okay. My profile was number oh, it's back again. I hate it. Okay, so let's assume when the clients that reached out to me checked the list, maybe mine was one, two, three, mine was somewhere here, right? Brand strategist, just simple. So she came to I'm trying to imagine this was her now. She came to the first profile. I'm not saying any of those things. None of them are my enemies. I've literally never seen any of those people before, so I don't have anything against them. We're just having a class. So we look at More. Forgive me, I'm not Yoruba, I'm Igbo, in case you haven't. So I am very bad at pronouncing Yoruba names. But let me just call her More, right? More or Priscilla. Priscilla is fine. So she looked at Priscilla's profile. Okay, well, there's no banner. Priscilla looks like she's having a birthday shoot, which is not bad, but this is LinkedIn. Okay, we're going forward. What does Priscilla do? Priscilla is a brand strategist and brand marketing professional with 5 years of experience. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, at heart, the worker of this. Oh, beautiful. So Priscilla is telling us about herself. Now, on this note, let me just quickly tell you something. When we talk about your about section on LinkedIn, please, that about is not about you. That did you hear me? That about is not about you. That about is about who? Your clients, your target audience. Every other part of your profile talks about you, but that part, please talk about your clients. Thank you. So moving forward, this is what um Priscilla's experience section looks like. This is what our experience section looks like. Let's not even go down. Let's just stop at experience section. We're looking at activity, we're looking at services, we're looking at about section, we're looking at the hero section of our profile. Good and fine. Let's go to the next person. Remember what Priscilla looks like. Oh, let's go to the next person. Okay, much better. We have Mbosowo. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. Forgive me, but let's continue. So Habana says the same thing that her name says, the same thing that her headline says. But at least she's if you ask me, as a brand manager, I will tell you that her profile is much better than the one we just looked at. Okay, it's much better than this. This is too big for my liking. And to think she was the first person. Oh, okay. Let me not assume that's why people don't like to hire Nigerians. Okay, moving forward. So, beautiful picture by the way. Very professional looking. I don't know why she's frowning her face, but trust me, she looks beautiful. I love it. So let's go down, right? Brand strategies, okay, media and brand strategists, brand communication experts, communication strategy, media campaigns, brand reputation. I don't want to get into profile optimization. When I see profiles like this, it makes me want to jump into that class, but that's not what we're here for, right? It's fine. Okay, moving forward, we're still comparing profiles. Okay, let's go to her about section. It says, my name is Mbosowa with over this from developing this. Who is she talking about? Who is she talking about? Herself. Wrong. Wrong. I will tell you this, but because like I've said, I've helped tons and tons of brands, so I know these mistakes when I see them. Okay, we're still going forward. This is what our experience section looks like. Okay, fine, fine. Let's look at the next person. Okay. I don't know who she is here, but I believe she's one of them. But that's what her banner looks like. Community manager, program manager, brand communication strategist. Good and fine. Let's go down. About section. It's talking about who? It's talking about who? It's talking about success. She's talking about herself. Wrong. Oh, at least this one has a feature section. Beautiful. And it even features her portfolio. Amazing. This first two did not have that, but let me not go back there. We're moving forward because time is rushing as I can see. Okay. Let's look at the experience section. Oh, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Good and fine. Now I'm just trying to assume that this was what happened that day when that client reached out to me. So remember what we've seen here. Remember what we've seen here. Remember what we've seen here. Now let's compare it to my profile. Now, my banner, first of all, the thing that would charm you. I'm not I'm not praising myself. I'm just stating clearly what we are seeing. And you guys are going to confirm for me later on. The first thing that would charm you is what? The colors, the branding. What we are talking about is what? Visual, visual, what you can see, visual branding. The first thing that will steal your heart, and I know because a lot of them have reached out to me to say, "Oh, your colors are just this, that. I love your branding." The first thing that will steal their heart is my brand color. Now I can't say any of this. Oh, it's back again. Okay, let's wait for it to go up, I guess. Why is it not going up? Okay, it's going up now. Okay, beautiful. Now, I don't know why none of them as remember, we're brand strategists are these three people. And you wonder why you don't get jobs on LinkedIn. These are brand strategists that should know better. These are not just anybody. These are people that claim they are brand strategists. Moving forward. So this is what this person's profile looks like. How will I hire you to manage my brand if this is what you're looking like now? But let's move forward. Visual branding. This is what this one looks like. This is what this one looks like. This is what this one looks like. Who looks like a brand strategist amongst all four? Please, maybe let me not blow my own trumpets. I want you guys to answer. Who looks like a brand strategist amongst the four profiles? Someone should type. Someone should type. Who
Okay.
looks like a brand strategist? What was that? Who spoke? Nobody's typing. Am I alone here? Have we all slept? Or is it my network? Oh, I and Mbosowo. Thank you. Mbosowo should be the second choice, right? Because she actually did better than the other ones. Beautiful. So look like what you say you are doing, oh. But in general, please have a good brand, a visual. Don't take your visual branding for don't take it recklessly, is what I'm trying to say. So that's the first thing. The visuals will capture you. That's the importance of visual branding. I'm not even going to go down to show you other optimized parts of my profiles, right? For example, the feature section, which is way different from what you've seen from the first tree. So when I will get job offer you, don't come and say it's local. There are things I know that you don't know. There are things I'm doing that you're not doing. Okay, it's just that simple. Now I mentioned that your about section shouldn't be about you, right? What did I say here? What's the first thing you can say here? Tired of being the genius that no one knows. Who am I speaking to? I'm speaking to and about my target audience. I did not say, hi, everyone. My name is Cynthia. I've done this and I've done that, right? You're going to start with your audience. You're going to make sure they understand that what they are here about or what you want to talk about here is them. I mentioned their problems. I told them how I can help them solve it, right? But most importantly, the whole summary of this is for my target audience. It's not to talk about the the name of my cat and my name and all that. The other part of your profile already does that. Okay. So I hope I've just established the fact that visual branding is not something you should joke with, but it's not also where you should stop. Your picture matters, your banner matters, the fact that your profile is optimized matters. Because your profile most times or your website or wherever it is usually the first point they get to know you from. It opens the door. It can open the door anyways, or it can shut it. Like it have shut it for these three people. Okay. So visual branding, have brand colors. I don't know how hard that can be. You can literally see me referencing green all over even my slides. Have brand colors. Let your brand speak for you. So let's move forward. So the first is what? Visual branding, right? Let's talk about the second is authority branding. Now, when I say authority branding, what I'm talking about is how do you build authority? Authority as a pillar for your brand. And like I tell people, the best way to build authority is through content. You've heard content is king, content is queen, content is the princess and the prince. That's not an exaggeration, it's literally the truth. Content is that important. Content will help you build credibility, build trust, build authority. And when we say authority, we don't mean, oh, you have to know everything. I'm still learning. Okay. But there's a level of authority I've built. So authority does not mean, oh, you're going to, pass everybody. No, that's not what it is. Authority is you explaining clearly the problem that you solve, having a voice, having a take, having a perspective, knowing how to solve that problem well. That's what authority is. That's what separates you from the 99%. That's what literally separates you from the 99%. If everybody is saying the same thing, say something different. Have a different opinion. Have a way of explaining the same thing that everybody is explaining in one particular way. Have a different way of explaining it, right? For example, you can have 10,000 brand strategists or people that will teach you branding, but this particular formula, I carefully generated it myself based on what I've learned about branding, based on the people I've worked with. Now, you might see similar things, but none of them are exactly like this. That's me building authority in branding. That's me having a perspective, my own way of doing things. You should have your own way of solving the. Sorry, whose mic is on? Do you have a question? Benjamin, who is that, please?
Sorry, ma, I will mute the person, ma.
Okay, thank you. So that's what authority is all about. And the best way to do that is through content. You have to be intentional about the kind of content you're putting out. That Mr. A wrote this thing, that this thing is trending, does not mean that's what your brand should be posting. That does not mean that's what your brand should be posting. What are your content pillars? How many thought leadership posts are you putting out in a week, in a month? Or are you just posting? These are the things you should be worried about, not just virality, not just number of followers. Are you doing the right things? Are you building the right pillars? How strong are your pillars? Don't just do things, do them well. There's a reason why there's a saying that goes, anything we're doing is we're doing well. Do it well. Don't follow the crowd. Make sure you're doing the right thing because that's the only way you're going to get the right results. So the kind of content you're putting out matters. Educative content will help you build authority fast. Authority fast. If you're a brand coming to me, you're just starting out, or you've been there for a long time, but you basically still have no direction. Now there are three things I will help you do. I will help you apply the three pillars. Yes. We'll look at your visuals, we'll look at your authority level, we'll look at your messaging and relationship, which is the third pillar. But under this authority pillar, when I want to draft your content strategy or your brand strategy or your content pillars, based on the authority level you have, I will know the percentage of authority contents that I would recommend you put out. Because I have tested this and I've seen that one of the ways you can build authority fast is by teaching educative content. For example, let's assume your knowledge about branding before this class was on a scale of 1 to 10, 2. And I've come now to move you from 2 to 8 or from 2 to 7. What you're going to tell yourself, whether you tell yourself that or not, it happens subconsciously anyways, is that this person understands this field. Yes or yes? This person understands this thing well. I've never really thought about it like this. I've built authority. And what did I do? I taught you educative content. It's the same thing with the kind of content you put out. The more you teach, the more people begin to see you as authority, especially when you have your own way of doing things and they know, oh, this is not ChatGPT or no, oh, this is not something you can find everywhere. So even in your content, you should still be authentic. Make sure there's a differentiator, something that separates you from the 99%. Very important. So let's move on so we can have enough time to to do Q&A. Now, the final thing or pillar I would recommend you pay attention to if you want to build a results-driven brand or an iconic brand is your relationship branding. Whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, there's a way.
Zuma.
Sorry, is someone calling my attention to something?
No, ma. Sorry, ma. I think somebody may have was muted. Sorry, ma.
Okay. So the final pillar is relationship branding. And I was saying that whether you believe it or not, you already have a relationship with people that have come across your brand. There's a relationship you have with them. The question is, what kind of relationship do you have with them? What kind of relationship do you have with them? Just by me being here, teaching you, I've already built a relationship with you guys. Because if you come to me tomorrow, like some of my students do after class, and they're like, "Oh, you're the one that taught us." I've built a relationship with you guys. So relationship branding is the same thing. You there's a relationship you have with anybody that has come across your brand. There's a way they see you. There's a way they perceive you. So how are you controlling that relationship? How are you controlling that relationship? Another way to explain relationship branding is messaging. Messaging. How do you speak? How do you write? What do you communicate to people? What kind of relationship are you building with them? Whether it's in the comments, it's in the DM, it's by what you do. Like I said here, trust can be built in comments, conversations, consistency. Let me give you an example, especially in this consistency part. So there are two graphic designers. I don't have anything against graphic designers, but there are two graphic designers. Both of them started LinkedIn on January 2025, right? Now, one of them has, let's say, roughly 10,000 followers, is bagging clients monthly, is doing well for himself. People come to him for gigs and for his offers and for his packages, and he's selling. And the other person started at the same time. That person is still at, let's say, even if that person can even have more followers, right? But then this person is not getting deals. This person is just there. He can feel like he's already feeling like, oh, this person started the same time I did. So what's going on? What's happening? I'll tell you one of the things that might be happening in that scenario. There's a very big possibility that the second person who is not attracting the same level of results has not been consistent. Now, when I talk consistency, I make sure to differentiate. There are two things people think about, or there's one thing they actually think about when we mention consistency. How many times you post? Okay. They think, oh, I post every day, or oh, I post weekly. I'm consistent. Now, that's one part of consistency. You know what the second part is? The content of the post, the content of whatever messaging framework or output you're putting out there. So person A has maintained their pillars. They've maintained consistency both in the number of times they post or show up and in their messaging. Person B is switching from here to there. Today they are talking about this, tomorrow they are talking about something else. They are like I said, your audience they have a relationship with you. So the relationship that their audience have with him is not consistent. Why? Because he's switching. But the other person has maintained the same consistency, both in messaging and in content outputs or in how they show up over time. So the relationship they have with their audience is more solid. So I hope you're understanding this relationship branding I'm talking about. People don't
Yes.
just buy your content, like I said here. I said they buy confidence in you, in you. They buy into who you are. That's what would determine the relationship they have with you. And that's one of the reasons why you should start with clarity, because you need to know who you are. That's how you know what to fix. That's how you know what to build more on. Let's assume you're struggling in one let me use myself as an example. I used to struggle very, very much with speaking. And it was crazy because I was always getting invited to something. So I would always flop. I would stutter. It was bad. So just by answering those questions and trying to sit with myself and figure out where I want my brand to be, I was able to pinpoint a particular problem, and I've been building on it for so long now that you can tell me I have a class with you tomorrow morning. I won't even study for it. Right? I will just come and deliver value and go my way. That's not me being sarcastic or being prideful. That's just the level I've gotten to. Okay. So clarity comes first. You need to understand who you are, know your weaknesses and your strengths. Make sure you understand them so that you can build more on your weaknesses and know how to limit them or convert them to strengths. Very important. So, dear brothers and sisters in Christ, if you're able to fix these three things, there are many other things I could teach you. I mean, we're talking about branding here, yeah, it affects everything, right? But the fact that you've taken these three things into consideration, the visuals, your authority slash the content, your relationships slash the messaging, you focus on these three things and actually improve on them between 3 to 6 months. There's no how you will not buy me Range Rover now, because you'll be like, is this what I've been missing before? Like I said, these things are not hard. You're just missing the whole point. You're focusing on the wrong things. Oh, everybody is posting congratulations. How is that your problem? Fix your brand and your own congratulations will come. Okay. So I want you to go back and reflect on these things, the questions I gave you, what you're focusing on, what your pillars currently look like, and how you can make them better. You have to know who is going to know it for you. If you don't know, how would you solve the problem if you don't know there's a problem? So let's start with that. Let me know, overdose you with with a lot of things. Let's start with that and let's see what the progress is. If we need to have like a second part 2 of this class, I don't mind. I love to teach, like I said. But for now, let's start with this and let's see where you are within the next few months. And I want to see testimonies. Benjamin or whoever the moderator is, make sure you send me testimonies because I love them. Or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and tell me,
Okay,
oh,
ma.
this is what happened. These are the changes I've seen. The class I mentioned I had earlier this week, the title of the class was actually from brand to value. Sorry, from brand to revenue, sorry. So I was teaching them how they can move from just having a brand to earning consistently using their brand. And I just gave them a few tips, backhandedly, just like I've given you guys a lot of tips in this class. And someone actually took their time to go and implement those tips that night. The person came the next day. It was a 2-day class, screaming. The person was like, I've gotten 2 inbound leads because I love inbound marketing. That was what I taught them. I don't do outbound. I don't like stress. I like it when I attract. Okay. I don't have strength to chase nobody. So these things work. It's just whether or not you're willing to do the work. So that brings me to the end of tonight's class. I hope we've got some value. And I believe the floor is now open for questions. Thank you so much once again for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma. Personally, for me, I've learned a lot. I wanted to ask a question, but you answered the question, but I have another question. But before I ask my question, if you have a question, please, you can drop it in the comment section while also appreciating our mentor for tonight. I've learned a lot. Thank you so much, ma. And the class was very fun. So please, this is time for question. If you have a question, you can just raise up your hand or drop it in the comments so that our mentor can quickly answer the question before she leaves. So please, if you have a question, you can raise your hand or drop it in the comments. Okay, ma, I will just ask my question while waiting for them to type their question or raise their hand. So I wanted to ask about consistency initially, but I think you've answered that. I wanted to ask that because people say that you have to post 2 times a day, you have to post 3 times a day, but you said that is part of branding. So another thing, consistency is about you not only posting everything, but as you are posting, what you are posting, people can see that you are being consistent, like in the way you communicate with people. But now my question now is, for example, I believe that as every day people are evolving, we are trying new things. Personally, for me, I am still on LinkedIn, but since last year I stopped posting because last year I was doing animation about environmental stuff because I'm a public health scientist. So I was using animation to teach people about the environment and every other thing. But at a point, I got so busy with schoolwork and every other thing, and I had to pause. And since then, I've not been posting because I don't even know how to come back. So presently now I'm learning data analysis because I still want to link it to the environmental health stuff that I'm doing. So now I'm just confused that how do I come back? Because to me I'm looking as if people will not say that this guy, are you confused? You're learning data analysis again and everywhere. And now so I don't even know how to come back on LinkedIn because you said they should see you that you are consistent. So now I don't know how to come back to what I'm doing. I don't know if you understand my question, ma'am.
Yes, and that's it's not just you. That's a very common question I've come to see again and again in this my journey. And I've seen people come to me like, "Oh, Cynthia, people has known me as, for example, I had a client last year who have spent the last basically 10 years, the last decade, and what they've been doing for the last decade is uh what do they call this thing? Um I don't know if you know these people that sell foodstuffs to large organizations. There's something they call them, but that's basically what she has been doing. And alongside, she has also been studying, right? Which is why, like I said, you should have who you are now and who you want to be so that you know how to map your journey. So she has also been studying a lot and giving out, free classes on business, entrepreneurship, and all of that. And one day she just decided, oh, you know what, I want to become a coach. That's not something she has been ever, but like I said, she was just implementing it here and there and she fell in love with it. So she came to me because she needed me to move her from who people know her as to a business coach for women. Now, I'm just trying to say you're not the only person in that role. I had to do a lot with her because she was dreaming big and we need to make sure that she was getting close to where she wanted to be. Okay, so we had to help her transition smoothly. We had to redo her brand. We had to redo her offers. We have to tweak her audience, right? But all in all, I'm just going to give you a few tips that will help you come back and transition because there are two things you need to do. You need to come back and explain your silence and your absence. You need to come back well and you now need to transition. But the good news is you can do both at the same time. You can be like, oh, this is the reason why I've been off. Oh, now this is what I am. Now it's not going to be easy as I'm saying it. There are different aspects that will have to change. In fact, all the pillars I talked about have to change because it will affect everything. If your profile before was saying you mentioned something about public health, now it has to be saying something about data analysis, right? So everything has to change. So it's this class came at the right time for you because you can use the knowledge you have here to go and redo the 3 pillars of your branding and come out as a new creature, come out solid and give people time. Okay. It's going to take a bit to adjust to, which is why I tell people that you have to be very careful with transitioning. And there are lots of people that don't understand the impact transitioning has on their brand, so they do it on and off. You're not building a community, sir. You're just building followership because you've confused the hell out of your audience. Imagine me having all this on my profile now, and you wake up tomorrow and they're saying virtual assistant there. You're going to be like, is this what's going on here? And there are people that do that like bi-monthly, right? Every 2 months they're changing something. Maybe they saw another person's profile. They will not gonna add something else to their profile. They don't understand branding. Branding is something you guard and build jealously, carefully, because you can lose it. If you lose people's trust in that area, that's when you know how hard it is to gain it back. But if you've made up your mind, my dear, that this is the path you want to go and continue on, it's not next 3 months you come and change it though. Don't find me. I will not help you. So you're going to sit with yourself and decide that, oh, this is actually where I want to pursue, or this is where I want to go um to from now onwards. If that's what you want to do, then let me give you a few tips. Like I've already given you the first tip, which is make sure you apply and implement everything you've learned today. Make sure you get those identity questions answered. Make sure you draft something that would tell you what you need to do under every pillar. Oh, I need to tweak this on my profile. I need to change this on my profile. That's visual branding now. Or I need to change this on my website and this, that, right? And then you're going to go in and draft a calendar that's authority wise now, content that would help you build authority in this new field. And then you're going to start to sound, right? That's relationship and messaging branding, like who you now claim to be. You can't go back and be sounding like public health. Don't be tempted to post both public health and data analysis. You're going to confuse the hell out of your audience. Don't do that. So if you're going to decide, oh, data analysis, fix your head there. That should be your game, and it should be long term. Because the worst thing that can happen to you now is coming out 6 months later, and you now decide, oh, you know what, I just want to be a video editor. Just put yourself in your audience shoes, okay? Put yourself in your audience
Okay.
shoes and tell me what you would think if you were them. So take your time, draft a plan, okay, and be patient enough to let them get right into it. Your audience will probably have to change. People will leave you, unfollow you, right? But if you're really determined that this is the path you want to take, then it should be worth it. I hope that answers your question, Benjamin.
Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma.
You're
Yes, ma.
welcome.
Yes, ma. Kende Kuka, you can unmute your mic and ask a question.
Okay. I think Kay there is I he or is she? I'm sorry, yeah, that name confuses me. So Kay, I think you can ask your question, please.
Oh, good evening, ma. Thank you for that powerful message, ma. Yeah, my question, probably I didn't get when you said that very well. You said you weren't struggling with communication or talking, but now you can speak fluently at anywhere, at any occasion, at any time. My question is, can you really give us the gist, the tips of how you transition from someone that's struggling to speak to someone that can speak fluently? And at what point, what changes? When did it change? Yeah, I think you get my question, man.
Yes, I do, Kehinde. Yes, I do. And it's no rocket science. Trust me. Trust me. It's no rocket science. I have two words for you: learn and implement. Okay? Learn, implement. If you can learn and implement, you'll get better at anything. The problem with most people is that they stop at learning. Oh, they'll watch YouTube videos, they'll take courses, Udemy, Coursera, Allison, wherever, right? But then they stop there. You have to implement. Like I said, even while I was still struggling, I still did not refuse those people reaching out to me. I found out it was something I was good at, like I said, teaching, but it was now how I was speaking that was the problem. So I had to go and fix that so that everything aligned. I don't want to come and cast the person that invited me now. Do you understand me? So, yes, you would have to learn, but most importantly, you have to implement. So, for me, it was speaking. I don't know what it is for you. There are some people that selling is their problem. They can't start up a conversation to sell, right? Or if someone even reaches out to them, How to close the person is a problem. You have to fix it. You have to learn wherever you want to do the learning from. It's up to you as long as you make sure that you learn and you implement. You're getting better. That's the most important thing. It's a journey. Whether you want to do it on YouTube, you want to get videos, you want to do it on Udemy, you want to do it on Coursera, on HubSpot, and Allison, wherever. The most important thing is that you're learning and you're implementing. If you're learning and you're not implementing, sorry for you, you're going to last a long time having that same problem. So I hope that answers your question, Kehinde, does it?
And partially, also, I was actually probably expecting you to give me the practical steps of what are those things you do to the helps you with the
Practical steps
transition.
that helps me transition.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
just
Yes,
those
ma'am.
two things. I kept accepting the invite and I kept speaking and I kept implementing and I kept getting better. Are you having a problem with public speaking? Is that what this is about?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you want to steal my framework so you can apply it?
Yeah, it's allowed, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Yes, there's something else I didn't mention. You need to read books. Oh, you need to read books. You need to read books. And since public speaking is also a problem you have, read books, yes, watch TED shows, right? You know, TED Talk, watch it. Practice on people around you. Literally, you can draft up a topic and try to teach it to thin air. Watch yourself in a mirror. Okay. So if you want in total, this is what I'm giving you now. I'm giving you in total lessons. So read books that has to do with communications, practice, watch TED Talks. Like I said, when you go to YouTube and search, you're going to find a lot of amazing teachers. I tell people that you have zero reasons for being bad at anything these days, unless it's not something you've actually pinpointed that you need to work on. There are teachers everywhere. Go to YouTube, you'll find videos and videos, your head will pain you. Everybody is clamoring to teach. So take the advantage and learn from them. So Kehinde, I hope you would implement the ones I've given you so far, and trust me, you're going to have a testimony if you should implement it consistently. Okay. So the next question, please, Bidemi, please, you can ask.
Demi, are
Bidemi, are
you
you
there?
there? Oh yes, I am. Please go ahead.
Okay, good evening, Ma. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello, good evening, Ma. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Please go
Okay,
ahead.
my question, thank you so much for tonight's session. So, the question I want to ask is that, okay, for someone like me that have different, like I do different things. For example, I'm a fiction writer and I'm also interested in conservation biology. So I've been tempted, let me put it that way, because mostly my Instagram handle deals with my fiction writing. Then my LinkedIn deals with my interest in conservation biology. So I want to ask, is it okay to keep them apart since they don't really have a link? That's my first question. And my second question, since for somebody like me who it's hopes to be like an academic professional in the long run, and I don't really have any kind of like services. Okay, I have services that's talking about what I do, what it's about, but I don't have solutions for now. So what would you advise that I do? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, Bidemi. So you're going to answer one question for me. You said you do fiction writing. So fiction writing on what genre are we talking about?
Okay, Christian romance fiction writing.
Christian and romance in the same sentence.
Yes.
Bidemi, that's interesting.
Yes.
Okay. So I asked that because I was trying to find a connection between the two things you mentioned, and there was absolutely none. Now, I love that you were wise enough to recognize that and separate them into two platforms. But this is what I would tell you. So if you're someone that is aspiring to become an authority in any of those fields, there will come a day that you have to choose that one. Okay? If you sit yourself down and you ask yourself, that's why those identity questions are important. If they ask you to choose, which one are you going to choose from these two things that actually you have the passion for? Maybe it's conservation biology that you studied, and that's why you feel like, oh, I have to speak on it. That's not necessarily the case. I've given you my own background. You don't see me putting out posts about doctors or medical sciences or any of those things. Not because I don't know they are important, but I figured out along the way that this is not something I have the passion for. I'm just moved to do it because maybe for my family or just the names that people or titles that people would give me. So I let go of that. Okay. I became enlightened. So Bidemi, I feel like if you continue to merge those two, because there's absolutely no way to put it together unless you're going to find one. There's no string to link both together. So I'm going to advise that you make that decision sooner than later, because later is more dangerous. Are you going to choose one, the fiction writing? Most of them are really interesting, by the way. Are you going to choose the conservation biology? Because that one is more, it looks like, I mean, both of them are important, but that one is looking more sophisticated, more needed, right? I believe we need to save the environment more than we need fictional novels about Christians and Romans. But let me know, I'm not trying to downsize that dream. So you will get to that point where you would have to choose. So I'm saying make that choice sooner than later so that you can focus on the one you've chosen. Now, the beautiful thing about branding, okay, is that there are various levels to it. Now you can continue to you can have a community for your fictional writing somewhere, but maybe not on your socials. Or you can just downsize that part of you because it's still your authentic self. You can downsize that part of you to just a content series that you put out, every once and again, but don't make it your main pillar. Okay, so find the one that gives you more joy and pick it, and that's the one you should hammer on. And for your second question, you said you want to become an academic professional or someone who is seen in that light in the future, but you don't have the solutions it brings. Now you can decide to mention that now in your journey, because like I'm very, very serious about being authentic, and it's the confusion that you're feeling now is part of the authentic self you're putting out. You can mention that that's something you aspire to do, especially in the conservation biology part. You can mention that that's something you're interested in becoming in the future, and then you're going to strive to actually become what it is that you say you want to become. Don't just leave it as a dream. Start something. I will give you an example. I've always been someone that is passionate about writing, yes, business in general, right? So I was like, I need to do more in the business world. Like I need to take a step into that world properly, not just, talking about it every now and then. So what am I currently doing? I'm doing a master's in international business at Nextford. That's me taking a step into that particular field, like a deep step now. So don't just leave it as a dream. If it's something you want to do, make a practical plan, take practical steps towards achieving it, and yeah, let it reflect in your journey. My community, they were very happy for me when I told them, oh, I'm finally starting this, and a lot of them reach out to say, oh, Cynthia, you're finally doing it. You know, carry them along, okay? As long as you make sure that that's actually where you're going. So I'm going to leave that decision of choosing which one to focus on for you, and I'm going to pray that you make the right decision in Jesus' name. Amen. So Bidemi, I hope that answers your question. I think I can see some questions in the comments, so I'm going to like pick one before I reach to I allow Olebubi ask ask hers. So the first
And
question in the comments, yeah, who is that?
I was asking if I should read out the question or you want to just go ahead and
Oh, don't
answer
worry,
it.
let me read it out. Don't worry. So, Steven says, can you still be building your brand even if you don't have the right tools? Right tools. For example, as a tutor, you don't have a laptop. Can you still continue to post yourself? Absolutely. Absolutely. Please, you can. As long as you have a medium, right, that you can use as a front, whether it's your cracked screen phone, please use it. It's all part of your story. It's all part of your story. Okay. I don't want to remember when I started, but I can remember when I started and what I started with. I started with a phone that I had to literally plug into a power bank all the time. Like it was hot and I was still carrying it. Oh God. So please don't be shy of your humble beginnings. Don't wait until that's one way to waste a lot of time. I'm going to wait until I have a phone. Now, like I said, it's all part of your story. The day you finally get a phone, a new phone, and announce it, those that know where you started from will be happy for you. So please don't wait until when you have a laptop. You can start from where you are with what you have. So the second question said you mentioned about our clients in the about section of our profile. Can you please say something more on that? That's a profile optimization class. Okay, Grace. Okay, but let me just give you this tip and leave you with it. So when I write the about section for my clients, I use this framework. If you're not a writer, please go look it up. The PAS framework is a copywriting framework or formula, which talks about the problems, the agitation of the problems, and the solutions. So if you use that framework, you're automatically talking about your clients. It's one of the things that will help you not talk about yourself. Now you're going to mention yourself here and there, but the cocoa of the about section should be for your clients, not my name is this, I did this. No. Start with your clients, please. Make sure they understand that, oh, you wrote this for them. Go and read that my about section again and tell me if you're not my client, if you were my clients, would you not be happy to find such a copy? I wrote it basically for them, not for myself. So write something that they will read and they'll be attracted to you and they will want to reach out to you. If you're telling them about you, where is the space for them? Okay. So that's what I will say about the about section. So finally, there's another question that says, for someone who have had different job roles, experiences, how best can they arrange these on LinkedIn? Now, the fact that you've had different roles does not mean that all of them has to be on LinkedIn. Does not mean that all of them has to be. I'll give you an example. So I'll just give you a range of fields that I am actually active in. Well, not so active these days because I've decided to focus on just the brand management slash strategy, the writing, and maybe just a bit of coaching, just like I'm doing now. So, but then I am into graphic designing, I'm into web designing, I'm into cybersecurity. I have certifications in all these fields. So it's just not me saying mentioning them for mentioning sake. I am a certified project manager, a certified facility manager. Let me not go on and on because I like to learn. Okay. So these are all the things I am up to. But go to my LinkedIn profile. You're just going to find things that are tied to two things: branding, writing. Okay. Branding, writing, which is communications. Branding, communications. Those are the things you're going to find. Not because I don't have other roles and experiences, but because I understand branding. And if you understand branding, you would know that your goal should be to not confuse your audience. If I There was a time all of those things were on my profile, but I realized it was confusing them because someone will reach out to me and be like, "Oh, I have this, but I'm not sure you are the person for it." Why are they not sure? Because I'm confusing them. Oh, I used to be web designer at this, graphic designer at that, project manager at that. Some people will feel like, oh, that's making them see me as a dogu. No, it's not. You're confusing them. Let me give you an example. You have two friends. One is a video editor. That's what they know. That's what they live by. That's what they're always doing. Another one is a video editor, graphic designer, writer, social media manager. If you get a video editing job, who will you take it to? Very simple question, very simple answer. You're going to take it to the one that you know that is video editing that they do. So have that same mindset when you're optimizing your profile or building your brand. Don't confuse people. Let them know you for one or two things more than they know you for 1,000. You're helping yourself more that way. Thank you so much. So, Olebebe, please, the floor is yours before we conclude tonight's class.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much. Please, I just want to confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, I can. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much for your session. Here's my question. On LinkedIn, there is this tendency to be a bit mechanical, especially when you are for brands or people who run systems and have found a niche. So they just tend to quote and unquote act as robots. Lately, I've been seeing some people, pop up things like, oh, social Saturday, or just exciting things about themselves, just trying to humanize their pages, trying to humanize their brands on LinkedIn. So, as someone who is trying to take LinkedIn very seriously, how do I
Olebebe stops hearing you. Is it just me? Benjamin, can you hear Olebebe still?
Yeah, I think it's a network, man.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think I get the gist of what she's talking about, but let's wait for her to come back. Olebebe, please, you can leave the call and join us back. Let's figure out what the problem is. Okay, so I believe she was mentioning something about LinkedIn as or LinkedIn. There's nothing they don't call themselves. Oh, please. Being mechanical in how they put out contents, right? And she said some of them act or sound like robots. That's very true. That's solid. I want her to be here when I answer. Benjamin, can you help me confirm if she has joined the call back?
Okay, man, she's not back, man.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think some of you are already chatting me up on LinkedIn. Oh, that was fast. Okay. Okay. Oh, she's not yet back.
She's
Tomorrow is
not back.
Sunday. I'm trying to go to bed. Okay.
Maybe,
Can she send me the question on LinkedIn? Can you
okay,
ask
man.
her to do that? Okay.
Okay, man. Or better still, maybe you can reach out to you and she can send you the question so that other people too can benefit. Maybe time will reach out to you, find a way of sorting it, man. I will not delay you. Thank you so
Okay, no
much.
problem. No problem.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much.
much,
Thank you
man,
so
for your
much,
time.
everyone, for
Have a
having
beautiful
me.
day.
Good night, everyone.
All right, man. Good night, man. Thank you, man. So we have come to the end of tonight's class. Thank
Good
you.
night, ma. Bye.
Okay. So thank you everybody for your time. Thank you for joining in. See you all next week. More information will be communicated to you on your individual groups. So thank you everybody and good night. So we can all leave the call now. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Bye bye.